My background includes having a major in political science with a minor in criminal justice from SUNY Brockport and a Associate of Arts from the University of Florida in criminal justice. I also have worked on several campaigns. Um, I worked on Hillary Clinton's campaign in 2016 in North Carolina, and my effort after being the third organizer hired to that office um, included Winston-Salem precincts. And because of that effort, which included me training other organizers when they came into the office, when they came on board, and having to give them the volunteers that I had recruited in the areas that they were assigned. And because of that, Governor Cooper won North Carolina by, they had to have a recount. And I also was a CNN reporter from the time that citizen journalism concept was created in 2009 until it ended in 2015. And several of my, not several, but many, I was featured on the CNN I report, I reporter's wall, which meant that I was one of the top producing or top featured I reporters on that platform. I also blogged on Dr. Watkins' site, yourblackworld.com, when it first started with Lamont Hill and Melissa Harris Perry. So I was one of the original bloggers on that site. And I was featured on CNN during Justice Sotomayor's confirmation hearing via site. And I have blogs called callingoutRacism.com and also blogging to change history. That said, and I'm also a proud soror, a charter member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated at the University of Florida, Iota Lambda chapter, and we are going to celebrate our 50th year as a sorority at the University of Florida soon. And again, as a charter member of the 25, we would definitely be, celebrated. And it was just a joy to be around after 50 years of being a part of this amazing sorority. And two of my daughters are also sorors. One plays at the University of Pennsylvania on an academic scholarship, and one plays at the University of Virginia with double majors and double minors. Okay, let's get started. Vance, in his appearance today, was there because Trump laid the groundwork when he started talking about Haitians eating dogs and cats. That was his mission. So that Vance, who out-talked each of the people that I saw interviewing him this Sunday, and he took over the interviews because he has that ability. He's a trained lawyer, he's a senator, and Trump can do it. He also did it because Trump campaign has been using their campaign money that they got from innocent citizens to fund his legal troubles and whatever else that Trump would do, with the money. So this billionaire who has left unpaid bills all around the country at locations that he has had rallies in the past. Now, it's my understanding, or what do you say? It's alleged that he can't come to those places anymore because he has unpaid bills. So therefore, they're trying to use the media to get free airtime to campaign. So let's leave the story alone. We've already said that there's no credible evidence that anyone, including Haitians, are not eating cats and dogs or stealing pets in Springfield, Ohio. That's it. It's just that simple. Let's shut it down. Let's see what they come up with next. And I hope, Soraya Harris, that you do not um, have another debate with him. He is not credible. If he can say that, we do not need to expose our country to propaganda, Russian lies. We don't know who's feeding him these talking points. Him and Senator Vance. And since we don't, let's not put them on our airways. Let's not put them in our 2024 election where our democracy is on the line and this country can finally be the nation that we have been professing to be all for generations. And if we do and win a larger majority in the House and the Senate, we need 60 people because Manchin, it was a Democrat in name only. Then he became an independent. Then he wouldn't let anything get done. And he only had 300,000 votes in his state. And he took over our party by not letting President Biden and VP Harris accomplish even more. And President Biden it's been labeled already as the 14th greatest president in America's history. And with his selection of Kamala Harris and with what she's going to do to continue his legacy and their legacy, it's going to be historic. So all we got to do is stay focused. And the media, please stop giving Trump and Vance free airtime. Joe Scarborough, you helped create Trump in 2016 when you had him on daily 3 and 4 times a week. The only reason you stopped being, and you still kind of defend him in a way, you still do it on the low. But the only reason you had a fallout with Donald Trump was because of after you and your now wife, when you were both married to other people, when you went to Mar-a-Lago, and he talked about her after that visit, and that's when you became anti-Trump. So we can't get fooled. This election is too important. And one other person, Frank Lux, the one that everybody is still having on to predict the election or to talk about focus groups. When this man, on the January of 2029, the night of President Obama's first inauguration, met with the Republicans, including the Speaker of the House at the time. Anyway, I put a link in that with that for you'll see everybody that was there, the Republicans. And Frank Lux stated that they had never seen a crowd that big at an inauguration. And they decided that night that the Republicans would vote no to everything that President Obama supported and wanted to do for this country, because he came in with a good heart, wanting to work with the Republicans and to do his presidential duty of making America a more just nation for all of its citizens. And they would not let him for 4 years. Additional, Mitch McConnell stole 3 presidential judiciary Supreme Court appointments from President Obama. And that's why we're in the shape that we are in now, with the Supreme Court giving absolute immunity to one of the worst presidents in history, a man, and they did this after he was convicted of 24 felony counts. So I myself am grateful for President um, Obama affordable medical care, because I've had serious medical issues. I've had, and I have pre-existing conditions, and I'm still covered with good health insurance because of Obamacare, the Affordable Health Care Act. And Trump is still trying to get rid of that. So if you are an American, if you are poor, black, woman, female, even if you're married to a Republican, when you go in to vote, you alone will be voting, and you can vote for Democrats. So to save your kids, and your husband can vote for anybody he wants to vote for. So please, please, let's vote in record numbers for Kamala Harris, VP Harris, Soraya Harris, and Tim, so that this nation can finally get from under the damage that Donald Trump and Republicans and Senator Manchin and Sinema from Arizona delivered for the Republicans during the last, during President Biden's term. Let's get it done. Let's vote like your life depends on it, because it really does. And if anything happens to me, know that I am in heaven and that I would never, ever, ever hurt myself. Because for me, I believe that's the ultimate sin. Thank you very much. And Soraya Harris, I hope and pray that after you win, you would complete President Biden's, I know you will, um, the goal that he wanted to do, to amend the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 again. And the Voting Rights Act, the Democrats attempted it with the John Lewis Voting Rights Bill. Let's win this thing. Let's get it done. Thanks. Okay, how do I end?